road a few miles from where she grew up is in another professional final, her 185th against Hana Mandlikova. How do you see this match today, Billie Jean?
Well, the last time these two played, Hana defeated Chris. And knowing Chris Evert like I do, she's going to have a revenge on her mind. She's going to say, I'm going to beat you, Hana. Also, at Wimbledon 2 or 3 years ago, Hana kept saying, well, I think I'm going to beat Chris. I'm going to be better than Chris and all that. And Chris doesn't like that. She's real competitive. She's got great ground strokes. Since we're here on hard true, and that's her surface in her backyard.
Well, that's right. She grew up.
I don't know, Bud. You have rabbits and you have Dobermans up there, but these are two of my favorite players to watch. I like Chris because she brings out the Walter Mitty in me. She does everything so well. She's very good technically. She has almost impeccable footwork, and she hits the ball very, very hard. In Hana's case, it's because of the sheer artistry. She's so fluid. She's graceful. She has a very delicate touch, and she can do almost anything with the ball. A real natural tennis player. Hana did beat Chris the last time they played, but that was on indoor carpet, which I think is Hana's best surface. I had a chance to talk to her last night, and she said making the transition to clay is a little bit difficult coming off the indoor circuit.
For sure, it's very difficult. When I came back from Madison Square Garden, I took 5 days off. I didn't play tennis at all, and then I went and play outside for 2 days. And you know, it feels absolutely different. It's like you're playing. You know, so much room everywhere, and you know, it really takes time, and this is my first match outside, so you know, I hope I'm going to improve my game still.
And I hope we have a terrific matchup between these two this afternoon. Bud, Billie Jean?
Okay, Barbara, thank you very much. Ms. King, your pick.
I'm going to pick Chris Evert Lloyd.
Well, you're leaving me with Hana Mandlikova, and I don't mind that a bit. We'll return with the tennis after this.
Okay, 1, 2.
Last warm-up strokes here at Palm Beach Gardens. The sun streaming down, extremely hot, as we look at the head-to-head, or at least the last 4 in the career, because Evert Lloyd is ahead, 16 victories to 3, but Billie Jean King, on clay, it's a little better.
That's right, it's 5-1. They've played 6 times on clay, and the one time that Hana did beat Chris was in Roland Garros, the French Open, in the semifinals.
So you would have to say that is a major occasion, and Mandlikova won it. She also won the last time they played at Oakland a few weeks ago, and that started Chris on the skids into that horrific slump of 2 straight losses. And if you don't think 2 straight losses isn't like the Depression of 1929 to Chris Evert Lloyd, you better talk to her. This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Ford Division of the Ford Motor Company and by Turner Broadcasting System. It is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this event in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Ford Division of the Ford Motor Company and the Turner Broadcasting System is prohibited. If you do it, you'll hear from all of us. And that includes my Uncle Studley, who is always trying to retransmit. Chris Evert Lloyd at the far end. Mandlikova. The umpire is Stu Tadlock, middle right of your screen. The net judge, Ernest Fortescue Rosmarin. And here goes Chris Evert Lloyd, leading off for the Ford Challenge Cup, inside of which will be a check for 100 big ones. Long.
You're going to see Chris Evert Lloyd hit out. I just talked to her in the dressing room about 2 minutes before she walked out on the court. And she said, Billie, I'm just going to hit out. I felt good against Bassett yesterday, and I'm going to go for my shots.
Now, she appears to be hitting with the wind at the moment, but we'll check with Barbara Estep shortly to get a wind velocity report. On the line. Evert Lloyd, 30. Mandlikova, 23.
with her serve yesterday, but that's another thing we're talking about the dressing room. And she said, I just don't make a commitment to it. I don't get up to it and snap my wrist enough. Well, I think that serve is a sign of she's thinking right.
You can hear the wind in our microphones. It's brisk up here, but the folks in the stands are baking. Evert Lloyd has won the opening game. Hana Mandlikova to serve. The wind is blowing from right to left on your screen.
At least that's what the flags are telling us. Sometimes that doesn't mean it's doing that.
Long. This is the terrain, the Florida clay court, and the sort of conditions that are second nature to Chris Evert Lloyd, growing up in Fort Lauderdale. Florida wind. Mandlikova.
Well, Hana's favorite volley, when you hit it right in close to her forehand volley, 9 times out of 10, she hits that little short cross court. Let's take another look. Good anticipation by Chris there, but that's Hana's favorite forehand volley.
30-15. Second game of the match. 40-15.
I think Hana's going to have to get a high percentage of first serves in today if she has a chance to beat Chris. The reason? Because Chris Evert Lloyd has one of the best returns of serve in the game, if not the best.
Mandlikova read it and then did not respond.
Well, I think she thought it was going to go out.
Ah.
She was over there, though. You're right. Great anticipation.
40-30. So from 40-15, Mandlikova with a mental error and an error of commission.
I think she thought that was a let cord. She was inquiring.
Long. She'll get it. But Mandlikova is even 1 game all. Now, Barbara Estek, can we learn about the wind?
Yes, but this is an unusual kind of wind. It's not what we've had throughout the week from the server or from the receiver's end. This is a cross-court wind. It's apt to hurt Hana because she has such a high toss. Also, it's going to cause a little bit of havoc, I think, with overheads and with volleys.
1 game all. Long. Evert Lloyd, she has won a record 133 tournaments. This is her 185th professional final. going for 134 today. Unusual that her father, Jimmy Evert, is here watching. He usually doesn't like to watch Chris. He gets too nervous.
He has high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Doctor doesn't like him to watch.
Yeah, that's a better definition, Billie Jean. He loves to watch his daughter, but the doctor says that ain't good medicine. First of the day. She had 5 yesterday against Carling Bassett. And we see the Evert family. Jimmy Evert, the father on the right. Seated next to him is Colette
It
Evert.
was Colette, right? And that was John Lloyd, the husband, and Claire, the baby, out of the 5 children. Not a baby anymore.
About 16?
It's about right, 16 or 17.
Hmm. Wide. This woman, Chris Evert Lloyd, is like most professional tennis players, is uneasy playing against Mandlikova because you never know what's going to happen. If Mandlikova plays at the top of her game, she's unstoppable, but so erratic.
So your strategy is to be consistent yourself. Keep the percentages in your favor.
Now Mandlikova read it, and she gets to deuce.
Well, we see Chris Evert Lloyd going to net more than ever. Here we see her at the net, anticipating well here, hitting her backhand. Oh, but I'm caught on that one. That was a wide shot to try to get to.
It is deuce. And a break point, the first of the day, and Mandlikova looking very comfortable on the ground from the baseline.
Well, she grew up in Czechoslovakia on the red clay, but I still think all the Czechs feel good on clay. They slide well. And Hana is so quick that Chris is going to have to hit a couple extra ground shots herself because of it.
And Chrissy saves the breaker. What acrobatics, though, Billie Jean, from Hana.
Hana is such a great athlete. I mean, she is so flexible. Look at that great stretch just to keep that point going. And here she challenges Chris by staying right in there. Chris read her right.
Second deuce.
When it's so windy like this, that is such a high-risk shot to try.
And that's her name, High Risk Hana.
No, it's not bad thinking what she's trying to do, but she should have been in closer. She was too close to the baseline. You have to be in closer, shorten the distance, so don't give your opponent time to get to it. Chris Evert Lloyd creeps out of a tight spot to lead 2-1.
So both women have been up front to the net 4 times, and each has won 3 times.
And what does that tell me? I wish I could show Chris that stat. She'd go, really? I won 3 out of 4? I said, yes, Chris, keep going up there.
Hana Mandlikova will be the server, and Chris Evert Lloyd, of course, the receiver. Hana with her characteristic bandeau. Kerchief, really. A woman who this year has already beaten Evert Lloyd and Navratilova. Chris Evert Lloyd, who arouses imagination, even passions. One man has been barred from the grounds who's been a lifetime fan of hers and sends her hundreds of letters, and she wants nothing to do with him. A little scary, really.
Well, it does get scary for some of the players, Bud. Get threatening calls.
Celebrity isn't all that much fun sometimes.
That was a smart play by Hana. It was a second serve, had a lot of kick on it. That's one of their best second serves I've seen her hit really throughout the tournament.
Last night you were saying she ought to hit that serve as a first serve sometimes.
Occasionally, yes, just as a surprise.
Oh. Ace for Hana. That's the first of the match. 2 games all. Mandlikova, winner of the French Open, winner of the Australian Open, finalist at Wimbledon, and a finalist at the U.S. Open during her brief career. One of the very few players in the world, and that company includes Billie Jean King to my right, who have played in all 4 major finals.
Love the team.
Hana's taking pace off the ball.
Smart to do that, especially hitting that high topspin to Chris's 2-handed backhand. Chris doesn't like that because you can't get as much power as you can when the ball's more like waist height. So what Chris is going to have to do is either decide to back up 1 more step and let it drop even further, and she's going to start worrying about Hana coming into net.
Oop. Evert Lloyd was ready for the dropper.
That's the forehand that Chris has worked on the last 3 or 4 years, is to hit on the outside of the ball. Her favorite forehand is to hit on the inside of the ball, the slider.
Nope.
30 all.
And it goes long.
30-40.
So here's another break point against Chris Evert Lloyd, the second of the set.
Taking the pace off and hitting it to Chris's backhand has worked. This game in particular.
Ooh. And another saver.
Well, Chris's anticipation has absolutely been impeccable. Look at this. She anticipated that cross court, and that's the reason she could answer.
Deuce.
Evert Lloyd.
Very difficult shot. Touch ball below the net.
Well, that was a difficult call for that linesman. He did a very good job on that. Just missed.
Well, try again. Hana, undaunted, gets it right this time. Deuce 2.
Well, Hana knows that shot will work if you can execute. But boy, is it tough, because Chris keeps that backhand very, very low.
Ooh, close to a double fault. Wide.
Mandlikova.
Break point number 2.
Well, you can't say Chris isn't going for his shots today. I mean, she has a huge commitment behind each one. Trying to hit the ball very hard.
What?
Football.
Well, for heaven's sake. William Otterson calls a football on Chris Evert Lloyd. Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't think I have. I was just trying to go back in my memory file.
Wish Stefano Flink were here. He'd tell us the last time she had a football. If ever. Ooh! She got it! And saves another break point.
Well, Chris knew that she'd hit a good shot against Hana, and therefore she knew the shot was going to be a short volley. And watch her run forward. Great sense of commitment, right on top of the ball. You're always told, to overrun the drop shots, and she did.
So after the third deuce, Chris Evert Lloyd has a game point. She's been living dangerously this afternoon. Wide, and it's 3-2 for Evert Lloyd.
Today's Ford Challenge Cup telecast is brought to you in part by Weight Watchers Frozen Foods, proud sponsor of the Women's Tennis Association.
If ever, as we look at umpire Stuart Tadlock, who comes from nearby Wellington, Florida, if ever there was a woman in the enemy camp, it is this woman serving, Hana Mandlikova. Not that nobody likes her. She's very popular, but she has walked into Chrissy country. This is Chrissy's kind of court, Florida clay. It's Chrissy's kind of wind, East Coast Florida wind, and it's Chrissy's crowds. She was born and grew up a few miles away in Fort Lauderdale. Oh! You won't see a better tennis shot than that. A looper. A buggy whip.
Oh, Hana Mandlikova loves his short forehand. You think there's no way she's even going to get to it. She gets to it, hits on the outside of the ball, and hooks it cross court.
Ace for Mandlikova. And she has 40 love.
This is what's so difficult when you play her, Bud. When she'll come off with great winners, service ace, great short forehand cross court. You never get a rhythm against her.
Well, she has 2 aces. And thus far, she's played it just right. She's been patient. She's gone for her brilliant shots when she had a high percentage of a chance of making them. Like that.
You're such a heroine when you make them. Such a donkey when you don't.
So her strongest serving game, an ace, wins it at love, and it's 3 games all. As we go to the sensitive 7th game.
Well,
Do you subscribe to that theory? That
most
this
of the
is
time.
the big game?
Most of the time, because it's the pivotal game. You're getting near the end. You're getting closer and closer to that magic 6.
No breaks of serve. Chris Evert Lloyd has canceled 3 break points.
Out.
Nope.
50 love.
Talk about going against the odds. As a professional, Chrissy has won 85 of 86 matches on the clay of her home state, Florida.
Can't believe Hana tried to come in off that shot.
And she got caught in no woman's land.
She knows it, too. Give me that ball. Let me practice this one. Let me get that out of my system.
So they trade love games. Chrissy leads 4 games to 3. Well, you're watching one kind of bouncing ball. There'll be another one bouncing tonight on WTBA, the National Basketball Association. Tonight, Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. That's in San Antonio. Rick Barry, John Andres are on the microphone, and Billie Jean. Houston has those twin towers, Olajuwon and Sampson, which kind of reminds me of the twin towers of tennis, Claudia Koda-Kilsch and Helena Sukova.
They are tall.
Oh.
Oh, it's a great get from Hana Mandlikova. Only a wonderfully raw, talented athlete can get to that.
50 love.
Let's take another look at the great athletic ability. There's Chris. Oh, great reach by Hana Mandlikova. And Chris knew it was just too good and didn't even try for it.
15 love. Baseline, and Chrissy is long.
30 love.
So here's Hana after playing a poor game the last game, right back on track.
That's right. She played the best game, though, the one before that. So you just never know what's going to happen with Hana Mandlikova. From the best to the worst in seconds.
She reminds me of Arthur Ashe at the same age.
That's
All
true.
sorts of shots. You could never have any idea what would happen. Brilliance and blah within seconds. Sneak volley. Oh, did it go over?
No.
30.
No, it
Just
went-
dribbled off her racket.
yeah,
I don't know what happened. I guess the wind caught it.
I think it did. It took it
Just-
right away from her. It's 30-15. She had perfect position. She had timed her charge judiciously. Nope.
30 all.
I'll say one thing, Hana Mandlikova's second serve has been very good today. She kept it very deep with a lot of topspin. And sometimes that's really her suspect shot.
Oh. 30 all. No losses of serve. 3-4. And the first break point against Mandlikova.
Biggest point of the set so far.
Hana committed herself. Billie Jean saw it. And one of the prime lobbers in the game scores the break with the lob. 5-3 for Chris Evert Lloyd. Barbara Estep.
Well, but I think it's going to be interesting now because Hana probably realizes that she needs to be very aggressive early in each point. She doesn't want to stay back and rally with Chris. I wouldn't be surprised to see her to begin to attack Chris's second serve, maybe even hit drop shots off the second serve. We'll see what happens.
It is 5-3 for Evert Lloyd. Wide.
Love 15.
Well, Hana did the right thing there. Chris hit a short ball, hit around the service line, and took advantage of it.
Well, it was an unusual approach.
I thought it was a mistake. I thought she hit it into the open space where Chris was already running in that direction. Hana would have been much better to have gone back cross court. Isn't hindsight great? Standing up here?
We have never lost a point up here.
If I could only play from up here.
Ooh, gee. Sets it up, does everything,
It doesn't finish.
like building a house and forgetting to put a roof on it. Any kind of volley would have won that point. 2 points from the set, Chris Evert Lloyd. attacking the second serve. She didn't attack it very well, of course.
40-15.
Well, that's Chris's favorite situation. It's that counter-attacking that she loves. It's counterpunch.
Set point.
Net.
Second serve. That is probably going to blow wide. It hasn't hit yet. Oh, and it's up in the good catch
First set.
by Bob
Evert
Dashay.
Lloyd, 6-3.
So,
Throw the balls in, please.
6 games to 3. Everett has the first of this best-of-3 set final. Jean, we saw patience in the first set from Hana, but did she fail to attack enough? Was she not following her nature enough?
I think she has to be more patient. And when she gets the opportunity, yes, more. You have to have this. It's an in-between feeling you get. You have to be kind of ready to pounce when you get the opportunity, but you can't just keep going at the same pace the whole time. You've got to be careful.
First point, and it's a fault. Mandlikova leading off in the second set.
Hana played the first 6 games just fine. I mean, she got a lot of first serves in, was aggressive when it was appropriate, and then she fell apart.
Why?
See, I think that's what she has to do, is just wait until she gets what she wants. I mean, Chris will make some errors, too. That's the one difference between Chris today and a few years ago. She does make more unforced errors.
That's long.
30 down.
See, Hana has to be patient like that until she gets a short shot. And Chris didn't give her a short one during those last 2 rallies, so you just have to keep waiting.
You may wait the rest of your life.
See, that's a bad error there.
Did she get it?
Yes, just inside the line.
Yeah, her first serve and volley point.
That's fine. When you get a first serve in like that and you've got Chris reaching, that's the time to go forward. But for you to go to net on every shot against Chris, you've got to have your first serve working very well.
Well, there was a foot fault. It's seldom called against Mandlikova.
Why is that? I noticed.
Woo!
It's good. Great hit.
So's that and that.
Oh, great tennis.
Oh, and Hana Mandlikova has won the opening game of the second set.
Terrific tennis.
First
Great
game,
mobility from
second set,
both players.
Mandlikova.
Watch this get. You think, how is Chris ever going to get to it? She gets to it. You think, how is Hana going to get to this one? Look at that stretching and sliding. Chris still gets to this shot and just misses. Terrific tennis.
The Ford Challenge Cup's representative here is Lou Latafe from Detroit. He's the vice president of sales for Ford North America, and we talked to him about Ford and tennis. Ford into tennis.
Well, Bud, tennis is one of the fastest growing spectator sports in the United States, and the kind of audience that watches and plays tennis is exactly the kind of people we're trying to interest in our products.
One thing that has interested me is that you're not only helping pay the rent and buy automobiles for high-priced professional tennis players, but you've had a mixed doubles tournament here for just plain club players.
That's true. We were in 36 private clubs around the country for players who rank no better than 5 in their skill level. They eliminated themselves over a period of 2 months so that finally we had 36 times 2, 72 winners and their families come here to play in a playoff. That was a way to get our dealers involved, local people involved, and to get right down to the grassroots where we wanted people to know who we are, what our new products are all about.
Well, you were right down to the basics of life. Mixed doubles. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
So, Billie Jean King, you're the chairman of that mixed doubles event. Who won?
Oh, it was fantastic. We had some great matches. David Tober and Mary Preble from Fairfax, Virginia won in the finals against Carol Schwab and Mark Hageman.
From St. Louis.
From St. Louis, bud.
And it was a tough final, played in a driving wind. And a very good tournament. There's the unforced errors, Mandlikova leading, and that's a category you don't want to lead. Evert Lloyd, she leads. 6-3, love 1.
15 all.
But you'd also have to take the winners, too, bud. And probably Hana has a few more winners.
I would think so.
So they're probably just about even. Chris has just won the most important points. That's the difference in this match so far. See, that ball was too deep for Hana to try to go to net on.
You want a ball that bounces well inside the service line.
Well, around the service line area is a good rule of thumb.
Court was open, but Hana couldn't make it.
40-15.
So Chris Evert Lloyd, despite 3 break points in the first set, has not dropped her serve. One game all.
1 all.
We're at PGA National, surrounded by 4 golf courses, beauties, but also lots of tennis courts. And even though PGA, Professional Golfers Association, brings to mind the other international game, the headquarters of the Women's Tennis Association, the female union, is right here on the grounds.
15 love.
I even saw Fern Kellmeyer, the greatest player in the history of West Virginia, who is, what, executive director of the WTA? What's her
I'm
title?
not sure about her title. All I know is she has the worst job in the world. She has to make sure the players get in the tournaments, and when a tournament doesn't have a player, they all yell at Peachy. I would hate her job.
She has to keep everyone happy.
Well, Fern is fantastic. She's got a great sense of humor. She'd have to. I don't understand why Hana didn't go down the line on that shot. Just keeps going for the short cross court. Maybe because of the breeze going from right to left.
Oh, my.
15-30.
Is her patience wearing thin?
Well, I'm wondering, she hasn't felt very well. And I know I saw the trainer, Cynthia Fermani, asking her if she needed anything for her stomach, for virus. So that looked better.
30 all.
And she said, no, I'm all right.
Hana's just
Time.
arrived, come back from visiting her family in Prague. Says she really enjoyed getting away from the circuit. Uh-oh, break point.
Chris will get that.
And she'll hook it. So 3 serve and volley points. Hana wins only one. Evert Lloyd wins the game to take a 2-1 lead.
2-1.
In the 80s at Palm Beach Garden. Some relief from a breeze, but it's definitely a shirts off and haulers type day as Chris Evert Lloyd seeks to consolidate her lead, which is now 6-3-2-1, and she has the serve. Playing against the brilliant but spasmodic Hana Mandlikova. Evert Lloyd has not lost serve. She weathered a couple of tough games in the first set.
And you can see the ground stroke winners 9-2 is a big difference in Chris's favor. But we expected that.
So, Hana wins a baseline duel.
She has won a few.
Woo!
Well, if you can do that every shot, you're going to win the match.
A backhand ripper, and suddenly Hana has a trio of breakers. It is out. Les Wiener's hand at the baseline extends quickly, and the lead is dissipated in 4 points, 2 games all. So Hana's raised her first serving quite a bit, says our statistician, Jane Greenewalt, from 39% to 50%, and perhaps going up. Well, you've got to approach the cannon, the backhand side, with something a little better. Perhaps a slice to keep that ball down low.
That's right. Or make Chris reach. One or the other. That was right in her strike zone.
She'll get it. Tough ball, too, bobbing in the wind.
Ooh.
15 all.
The one thing that's very noticeable today is both players' mobility is very good. It's excellent.
Wind blowing a little bit into Hana's face, but to her right. Left, right to left on your screen. Wide.
38-15.
Chris Evert Lloyd has won 19 of 22 matches this season. Hana 21 of 25, and 2 tournaments. Foot faults again, never called. All over that baseline. Or seldom called. Once in a while it's called. Now that was a very good approach.
40-15.
That's right, because it was low. And she made Chris have to get over there and scoop under it.
Now, here's a very big point. Chris Evert Lloyd has won the first set. Hana Mandlikova down to break, breaks back, trying to reestablish herself, and wants this game very badly to go ahead 3-2.
That's where she needed that first serve.
And she has the game for a 3-2 lead. So Hana has won the last 2 games as we go to Barbara Estep.
Oh, we talked just a minute ago about the fact that Hana might not be feeling all that well. I spoke last night with Pat Kramer, who's coaching her this week, and she does have a touch of a flu. She was running a temperature yesterday, and I guess we could maybe expect that coming from Czechoslovakia down to the heat in Florida. The one thing I have noticed is that on every changeover, Hana is pouring ice water on the back of her neck and just sort of putting her head down. And that's probably a good thing for people at home to remember. When you begin to get overheated a little bit on the tennis court, ice on the back of your neck or a little bit of ice water on the back of your neck's probably the best thing to cool your body temperature down a little bit. At any rate, both Chris and Hana struggling through a very hot afternoon. The sun coming off this hard true is not a lot of fun, and I can tell you from personal experience.
Thank you, Barbara. I'd sure like to get a couple of doctors to debate that, because I've heard it both ways about ice water on the back of the neck. I've heard some say best thing you can do, and some say worst thing you can do.
And why is it the worst? Because it's too much of a shock for your system?
That, and contracts things.
I think lowering your body temperature helps.
But I'm not going to practice medicine on the show. I just want to say that I've heard it both ways. Why shouldn't I practice medicine? We've practiced psychoanalysis on this show many times.
Why not? We can say we want, right?
Well, I don't know about
Just
that.
don't hold us to it.
There's the umpire, Stu Tadlock, who's in control in his high chair. And the woman who many think invented tennis in Florida. That's not quite true. Johnny Van Ryn lives very near here in Palm Beach. Won 3 Wimbledon doubles championships in the 1930s. Long. Now, Mandlikova, who broke Evert Lloyd for the first time in the match 2 games ago, may have her lasers going.
You can always tell how well Hana's concentrating by her footwork. It was exceptional at last point. Getting sideways on every shot. You can tell she's in this right now.
First serve, Hana's is bad.
I thought it was higher than that.
And Chrissy's really isn't very good, considering the way she serves. Mandlikova.
Number 30.
Watch Chris barely getting to that shot, having to hit a one-handy, which we very rarely see. And that's the reason Hana could come in and put it away.
It is love 30, and this set could turn right here. And first time at the net in the second set for Chrissy.
15-30.
And she made 4 out of 5 the last set, so you'd think she'd be up there more often.
Well, we've been saying that for, what, 10 years, 12 years?
She's Billy, it's not that easy for me. Don't keep telling me that.
Well, it was there for her.
It looked as if the wind took that ball beyond the baseline. Big point right here, bud. Let's see if Hana gets aggressive or stays back.
Chrissy's got it, but cannot make the play break point.
30-40.
Well, a very smart play by Hana Mandlikova, getting up there to the net. And this is the one shot she keeps insisting on trying, and this time it prevailed.
30-40. ace for Chris Evert Lloyd, her first of the day, and it's a rather good spot for it.
But that's what makes Chris such a great champion. She plays the big points better than any other player probably in history. And Martina's starting to do the same the last 2 or 3 years.
Wide. So Chris Evert Lloyd recovers from the break point, and it's 3-all.
That was a gutsy situation for Chris to come up on a break point. That's generally when you don't see Chris up at net. She doesn't like to do that, and she really forced the issue. I think Chris's service percentage may be down, but I think her serve is actually better today than yesterday because she's hitting it harder.
Here we are in that critical 7th game again. 3 games all. Evert Lloyd the leader, 6-3, 3-all. Oh, how she likes to nail that second ball.
Well, it was 3-all in the first set when everything changed.
From 3-all in the first set, Chrissy lost only 3 points the rest of the set.
Hana looks weary to me now, bud. Looks very weary.
Well, the first 2 days of the event, she played at night, which was cooler. This is her first exposure to these searing rays.
Also,
it's humid, too.
Also, you don't get as much time between matches. When you played at night and then have to come back out in the afternoon, it's very difficult. Not again.
Triple breaker.
Well, you know, to keep trying the shot against Chris Evert Lloyd is a big mistake. And Chris is onto it now. And right here, you see her just jump on it. First of all, it's a bad drop volley. It's too deep. And Chris just jumps on it. Too good.
40. Gone is the game with just that bunted backhand. Just meet it. That's all she needed. 4-3 for Chris Evert Lloyd, who may have given herself, with that no backswing poke, the winning lead. I kind of like that shot, because that's as hard as I can hit a ball.
Chris hits that well. She just times it and just has such a firm grip with both hands that she gets a lot of pace off of it. But it's a very short stroke. Like you said, it's a bunt.
But a very long, loud, resounding bunt, because it may have been the break she needed. She only broke Mandlikova once in the first set, and that was enough. And there, that record, 125 straight matches on clay.
We always tell Chris that's disgusting to win that many matches.
That was compiled by Stefano Flink, who is Chris's Boswell. And finally, it was Tracy Austin who stopped her in the Italian Open of 1979. And there haven't been many since. The only person to beat Chrissy on Florida clay, Martina Navratilova, just about a year ago at Amelia Island Plantation over near Jacksonville, up the coast, where the women will be playing in 2 weeks. And the Braves leading the Expos 2-love after 7 sets. The women go next week to Hilton Head Island, Sea Pines Plantation for the Family Circle Cup, and Chris Evert Lloyd will be playing. You going to play doubles, Billie Jean? Are you going to be encouraged by your triumph here?
I'm encouraged. I'm going to play with Rosie Casals the next week at Amelia Island, the WTA Championship.
Ah. Chris Evert Lloyd. Sitting on a lead now, a set and a break, 4-3, second set. Gunning for the 134th tournament championship of her career. Mandlikova's long.
39.
Evert Lloyd, who won her 1,000th match victory in Australia last December. That's a record for the women. Jimmy Connors has won one more matches, but she's won more tournaments. Jimmy has won 105 tournaments. And suddenly, from break point down, Chrissy has won 10 straight points. She's the boss from 3-all today. Straight points.
Well, the family's happy with that one. Well, this is a difficulty on hard true if you don't get that first volley away. Watch Hana get in. Chris is down like, watch this volley. You don't put that away on hard true. It gives a person another chance.
So, Hana Mandlikova, who got to 3-all in each set, is on the verge of losing. 3-5. Second set. So that stops the string of points at 11. And look who's at the net.
She's had such a high percentage of winners up there. I'm surprised she doesn't get up there more often. Have to give her a cue card. Chris, you're winning 90% going to net.
Whoa.
Don't give Chris Evert Lloyd a second chance.
She's getting near that Ford Thunderbird that goes with first place money, and she told Jim Sarney of the Fort Lauderdale News she was going to keep this one. She's won 16 cars during her career and has only kept one before this.
That's right. And you know what she said? We said to her in the dressing room, why don't you just drive it home if you win?
I don't know who won that point. I think it was Mandlikova.
I don't think they're sure either.
No. Linesman Alfred Nathan is going out to look at the mark. I never have decided how they can look at a mark. Let's see, because there are so many marks.
That is, oh, looks wide.
The ball was out.
30-all.
So it is 30-all. That was a big one for Hana because she would have been down double set, double match, double championship point. Well, here it is, match point.
Against most players, that works pretty well, but against Chris, that's exactly where she wants you to hit it to her.
Ooh!
Oh, Hana was taking a hike to the net.
And Les Wiener on the baseline waited. Finally, his left hand shot out. It is deuce. Pardon?
Game.
Wait,
What?
let's listen, because Hana's ruled against herself.
Ball out. I had to agree with. He called the ball out.
Oh.
I had to agree with the call.
I thought she'd said the ball was good.
That's what I thought she was saying. No, I think it's over.
Advantage, Mandlikova.
No, it's deuce. The score is deuce.
It's deuce unless
That was a match point, and they.
Correct. Advantage, Evert Lloyd.
No, the
Then it's
score is
over.
deuce. It was advantage Evert Lloyd.
So it's either
it was
over
break
or
point,
deuce.
and the return sailed long. The score is deuce, but it has to stand now as being played.
Game, set, and championship.
Hana
Evert Lloyd.
Mandlikova comes up a point short. You saw it here. I think we can replay it and show it all to you. Hana is not only loses $100,000, but is short change.
And both players didn't realize it. I can't believe that. Usually one out of the two players you notice it.
So, at what should have been deuce was called advantage Evert Lloyd. And how could it be advantage Evert Lloyd when they had just said she'd lost the point? And what a odd finish. And perhaps we can talk to umpire Stu Tadlock. We're going away, but we'll be back.
And Chris Evert Lloyd defeating Hana Mandlikova this afternoon, 6-3, 6-3. But we did have quite a controversy at the end. Umpire Stu Tadlock is here with us. What actually happened on match point?
The baseline umpire called the ball out. Mandlikova looked at it, came to the net, said it was good, wanted to give the match to Evert Lloyd. I had to agree with the call. Chris said to play it, and we went back and replayed the point.
Okay, now the point that we didn't understand is if Chris's ball was judged long by the baseline linesman and you agreed with him, then why did the score not go back to deuce?
It remained the same. We replayed the point.
So in other words, it was considered, it's a let, or did Hana win the point?
No, we played a let, and at the time the score was advantage Evert Lloyd.
Okay, when Hana originally put the ball into play, it was advantage Evert Lloyd, and then apparently Chris lost that point. So why would the score not have gone back to deuce?
Well, because we played a let, and it was already advantage Evert Lloyd.
Okay, so that was Hana's decision to play a let?
Yes, both the girls.
Okay, so that answers our query just a little bit. And Bud, we'll have John Lloyd was standing by here just a minute. John, could we ask you to come in for just a minute? Thanks very much, Stu. We appreciate that. We were just talking to the umpire about what happened on the last point. Were you a little bit confused also?
Well, I thought it was an interesting decision. I mean, I think really, technically speaking, you either have to give the point to Hana or to Chris, and the umpire has to overrule it. To play two, sort of a bit of a throwback to the old days when players used to give calls and everyone would say, well, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, let's play two. But I thought it was sort of kind of nice, really.
Yes, it was a little bit interesting. Apparently, Hana's the one who said, let's just play a let on this point.
Yeah, well, I think that was very nice for her to say that. I think it's unusual these days for that sort of decision to occur, but I thought it was quite nice, really.
It was good sportsmanship on the part of both players. Now, Chris has been a little bit modest lately. I've talked to her a lot about how many changes she's making in her game. It seems to me that, for one thing, she's getting a lot more body lean on her serve. She's really trying to hit that ball a little harder. She's hitting her forehand harder. You tell us a little bit about what changes she's making and why.
Well, I think she's trying to serve a little bit more like when she serves in doubles, where she gets a body weight and has to move into the net. It makes her step forward and get a little bit more shoulder into the ball, whereas in singles, she's tended in the past just to hit a serve and sort of virtually come back, and so not getting any body weight into it. The problem is sometimes she throws the ball a little bit too far in front and doesn't go out to meet it, and consequently she sort of brings the ball down, and at the moment she has great days with it and then bad days, and she's a bit nervous about it. But I think it's one of these things where she just has to keep working on it, and eventually it'll become a lot more of a weapon than her serve has been in the past.
And changes in her forehand?
I think she's trying to step into the ball altogether a lot more, take it early, not try and float the ball as much and really step into it. I think, you know, she has to do that and become more aggressive, and it's giving her something to work on, and she enjoys doing it.
She's also become quite an athlete. She's very fit these days.
Yeah, she's working hard. Well, you know, she likes going in the gym now, and she works on the weights, and, you know, we run 2 or 3 times a week, and she's becoming sort of, I think she enjoys doing things other than just playing tennis now, the outside activities with weights. I think it's made her sort of get up in the morning and look forward to doing things rather than just hitting the tennis ball across the net.
Well, I know you've been a terrific influence on Chris, and congratulations to her today. Good luck for the clay court season. And I think Bud's ready now to present the winners on court. Bud?
Thank you, Barbara. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you've seen what can be described as a battle between two of the great players in the game today. There was something of a confusing ending to the match, and we'll get to that when we talk to both women. But today, as it has been so many times in Florida, on Florida clay, where she has lost only one match, it was Chris Evert Lloyd. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Bob O'Brien, the chairman of Carteret Banks of New Jersey and Florida, the presenting sponsor. The tournament is most grateful to him. And now from Detroit, from Ford, Vice President of Sales, North America, Lou Latafe, who will present the rewards. Lou?
Thank you, Bud. First, all of us from Ford Motor Company and our dealers would like very much to thank the Women's Tennis Association and the PGA National for their hospitality here, and all these wonderful tennis fans and the marvelous group of players who made these last several days so exciting for all of us. And now I'd like to call up Hana to receive her award for this magnificent performance this afternoon. Hana, Ford and the Ford dealers are pleased to present you two awards, not necessarily in order of importance. First, a magnificent Gucci wallet.
Thank you.
And so you'll have something to put in it, the $50,000 runner-up check. Congratulations.
I would like to thank Ford, first of all, for the nice check. And also John Koff, he did a very good job again, like always. Carter Savings, and that's all I think. But
Your mother?
also, no, my mother.
Oh, okay.
No, also I like to thank. You're holding it too low. I mean, you know, I'm a little taller.
Okay.
Thanks. I think Chris was tougher today. I just came like Wednesday over from Europe, and you know, it really bothered me, the hot weather today, but she was just better player today, so congratulations. Thank you.
Hana, may we ask you what happened on the last point? It was match point against you. There was some considerable conjecture about the ball, and it hit the line. Then the match should have been over.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, I said the ball was good anyway, and I said to the umpire that the ball was good, but you know, sometimes I don't know the rules, so the umpire said I should get two balls, so we just, you know, played two new balls.
So you ruled against yourself on match point?
The ball was good, so, you know, what can I do?
I think your response, what can I do, tells it all, because I know there are many players who would accept the call when the linesman called it out.
You're right, but, you know, I just don't know, the ball was good, I don't know. Bye.
And now, Lou, I know you don't want to overlook the other player.
I wonder if Chris would come up. Congratulations, Chris. That was a marvelous performance.
Thank you.
We have three special prizes we'd like to give you, this time in order of importance. The first are the keys to a Thunderbird feeler, which is perched there. Drive it in good health. I should mention to the people watching that this country celebrated two 30th birthdays this year, both of which were very important for America. One was Chris Evert Lloyd's 30th birthday, and the other was the Thunderbird's 30th birthday, both of which are forever young. Secondly, the winner's award for the Ford Cup Challenge, a $100,000 check. God bless you.
There's more.
And finally, the Ford Cup itself, to Chris Evert Lloyd.
More cars, more money. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Were you startled by what happened on match point?
No, because I thought the ball was right on the line. So I thought it was very nice of Hana at match point to show good sportsmanship, match point against her. So I was very happy that, she stood up for what she believed. But, we took the point over, so, maybe that was pretty fair.
It seemed to me that you were showing typical Chris Evert Lloyd Florida style from 3-3 in each set. Very tight match. You only lost 3 points the rest of the way in each set. What gives you this concentration down here in this wind?
Well, I think that, as Hana said, Hana arrived here 3 days ago. I arrived here about a week ago, so I think I was a little bit more used to the humidity and the heat, and if it had gone 3 sets, I think I would have been able to stay out there. And maybe it was just that little extra energy that I had that I thought, well, 3-all, this is a crucial point in the match, and try to play your best game at 3-all, and both sets I did.
I noticed in the stands your father, Jimmy Evert. Now, it's very unusual to see him at a match.
That's right.
Did you ask him to come to this one specially?
Well, since we live an hour away, I expect him to come. I mean, he won't fly over for Wimbledon or the U.S. Open because he gets too nervous. But I said, any tournament around 50 miles from the house, I expect you to be there.
And he was there.
And he was there.
What sort of a 1985 are we going to see in women's tennis? Already you and already Hana Mandlikova have beaten the seemingly unbeatable Martina Navratilova. Is that a sign of things to come?
Well, I think the past 2 years, Martina's dominated women's tennis, and I think that this year, no one really has dominated. Hana's won 3 tournaments, played very, very well. I've played well in patches. Martina's still the player to beat, but, I think it's anyone's contest right now.
Well, you're one of those anyones. Take a look at her. She grew up here in your neighborhood, on her way to the Hall of Fame at Newport one day. The champion today, Chris Evert Lloyd.